So the Street Profits versus DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer, dude. How crazy is that, you know? But I don't know if that match was like 5-star worthy in my book. I don't know. I'd have to like see every TLC match again or something. But a very solid match, no less. Definitely would have bolstered some weight on one of those WrestleMania nights. So sports journalist Arash Markazi reported spotting some notable figures at Wednesday night's Lakers versus Timberwolves NBA playoff game. According to Markazi's social media post, former MLB star Alex Rodriguez was seen attending the event alongside WWE superstar Charlotte Flair. So she's like already dating Alex Rodriguez. Markazi also noted that former WWE executive Shane McMahon was present at the game as well. So yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but is what it is, man. Liv Morgan. So the movie that she was cast in is called Bad Lieutenant Tokyo. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the other Bad Lieutenant movies. There's 2 of them. They're crazy, man. They are, I think one of them had to have like scenes edited out of it because they were so graphic, right? And it's just very like drugs and sex ridden. And it's pretty wild, you know, far cry from the PG era, to say the least. But everybody's like, this movie is like, they're talking it up like she got in a Scorsese film or something, you know, like they're talking it up like Tarantino casted her in the new whatever the movie's making or something, like something that's going to change the game or everyone's going to talk about. Bad Lieutenant is like, I don't know if we got to look up the IMDb ratings on these, but let me see. Bad Lieutenant. Just look up the IMDb ratings. I mean, one of them's got 7 out of 10 on IMDb. The other one's got 6.6. And the last one was called Port of Call, New Orleans, and it had Nicolas Cage in it. And then the other one had Harvey Keitel, and that came out in like 92. So, I mean, not atrocious pieces, but just very like dark neo-noir crime drama type. But anyways, the thriller follows the Bad Lieutenant, a corrupt gambler in the Metropolitan Police Force who finds himself thrown into a tangled case after an enigmatic FBI agent arrives in Tokyo to investigate the disappearance of politician's daughter, Liv Morgan. So is she playing like a Japanese woman or is an FBI agent? Okay, so it's an American politician's daughter who gets brought to Tokyo. Gotcha. Meanwhile, a deviant killer operating in the Yakuza underworld seems to be shadowing their moves. I'm going to watch it, you know? I'm going to watch it. I've seen the other 2 Bad Lieutenants. Let's see. You know, hopefully she does really well. But as far as this, like, this might kick down some doors for her dramatically if she nails this. But just the way people were hyping this up, it was, you'd think like Marlon Brando was in the movie with her. She's in the next Francis Ford Coppola flick or something, the way people were hyping it up. But nonetheless, shout out Liv, and I'm really happy for her. We'll talk about cuts in a minute. So yeah, here's footage of like Charlotte with possibly her new boo thing and Shane McMahon. And a fake John Cena. And then Jeff Dye standing right there as well. So that's awkward because at the roast, like Jeff Dye, I don't know. I was just watching Jeff Dye the whole time. If we bring this back, okay, he awkwardly walks away. So watch Jeff Dye the whole time, okay? So he's the guy in the black and yellow jacket. He awkwardly walks away because he kind of gets cut out of this interaction between Charlotte Flair and Shane and all them, right? So he like awkwardly walks away and then he swoops back in and then Shane calls him over. And then he has to awkwardly shake hands with Charlotte Flair. After at the roast, Nia Jax was like, see, here's the real news story here. Fuck all this Alex Rodriguez shit. Okay? The real news story is Jeff Dye's awkwardness. No, listen though. He subtly crept back in. Okay, you see him, right? He like kind of creeps away. He's like, claps his hands, awkwardly walk away. Trying to get out of here. Then he waves at random people. Shane and Charlotte are talking, and then Jeff Dye was called out by Nia Jax, for talking shit about like Charlotte and everybody, because when Jeff Dye was dating Becky Lynch, he would tweet out and roast all the women's wrestlers for Becky, like using her Twitter. He'd give her all these one-liners, and like Nia called her out for that. But Nia also made a bunch of jokes about Charlotte's face, so who are we to be outraged to? But look, and then Jeff Dye awkwardly creeps in, taps Shane McMahon, and is like, I'm out. And then look, Shane's like, are you going to come say hi? And then they shake hands awkwardly, and Jeff's like, yeah, I already kind of know Charlotte. He probably already knows her. Oh, we just scoped out the real hot news there, guys. Okay, so here's Pat McAfee. He brought a wrestling ring back to his office on the Pat McAfee show.
To the office. For those that have been following along for a long time, that particular wrestling ring was purchased by me once I found out that you could buy a wrestling ring on the internet.
Sorry, for those unaware, Jeff Dye's like a stand-up comedian who's like, oh no, he's decently funny, you know. But he's just one of these like LA comedy brats, as people sort of call them, you know?
I believe it was my second year in the NFL. I might have been a little bit tuned up, a little bit boozed up.
What?
Late at night, found a website, and they said, yeah, you can buy a full-size wrestling ring. Wake up the next morning, kind of forget about it, move along 3-4 months, and 18-wheeler shows up at my house, says, hey, I got a delivery for you. I say, what is it? He says, a wrestling ring. I said, for who? He goes, are you Pat motherfucking McAfee? I guess is how I signed up for it on the website. I said, that is correct. He delivers that thing. I put it up in my barn. Then it went in our old office. This thing has been set up in my barn at my house. Now it has moved into the Thunderdome because we got work to do before next Saturday night at Backlash, where I fight an Austrian asshole who is strong, tough, intimidating, and a former world champion as of a couple weeks ago. So I got
people are raging that all these WWE releases happen, but McAfee is fighting Gunther, you know. So Eric confirms that Valhalla, Sarah Logan, is set to return to WWE TV soon as well. So again, they're keeping Valhalla, but release some of these people we're going to talk about. So Keanu Carver at Keanu Carver WWE had this to say about the WWE releases. He's like, or the current state of WWE, not even the releases, I don't think, just WWE in general. And he tweets this out, probably a drunk tweet, because I don't even know what this means, but he's like, these MFs ain't ready for this. They dick-eating these Samoan motherfuckers who think they like that, who be voting for Trump and ain't really like that. So someone can make sense of that, hopefully, okay?
You what?
But this is what dude had to say. And I just quote tweeted this, and I was like, I would just shut the fuck up before Jacob Fatu slapped the shit out of me. I would just keep my mouth fucking shut about that right about now. And he deleted this shit. In fact, he privated his whole account as down or whatever, or it's like all privated or whatever. So he clearly got a talking to about that. Izzy Moreno is thinking about the last 17 years and what's next. And she's 18 or whatever, I guess now. And she's like LFG. So that's the little girl that Bayley used to hug in NXT. She's all grown up. She's a wrestler now. She's been working on the indies. And I guess she's eyeing up LFG as a potential place to go. She's teasing all the places, but I think LFG would be a perfect fit for her, you know? Here is literally what I was talking about. Zelina Vega to me feels like knockoff Monet a lot of the time. I'm so sorry, but look at her literally. Like she's literally doing the, and I know people be like, well, it's just a little dance, but you guys know what they say, right? I mean,
sometimes in life you got to be a hoe.
Alex Shelley took on El Grande Americano, and the winner advanced to take on Dragon Lee for the speed title. So they got Alex Shelley and El Grande Americano competing in speed tournaments, I suppose. Natalya feels that Triple H doesn't owe her a storyline. So a lot of the news was like, oh, look, she has to go out there to do all this stuff and she's blah, 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 blah. But Natty doesn't feel like she's owed anything. She's like, the division is more competitive than it's ever been, so I understand. To be honest, Triple H doesn't owe me anything. Triple H doesn't owe me a storyline. He doesn't owe me a phone call. He doesn't owe me a text. He doesn't owe me an email. He doesn't owe me a single thing. Sometimes it's hard to say, hey, WWE writers, hey, Triple H, I have this idea. It's easier sometimes to just show them. Do you guys remember on Total Divas when Natty Neidhart was like drunkenly left Stephanie McMahon a long-ass voice message about like, I need to be the champion. This is why I'm ready for a run. I'm ready for the title. So kind of funny if you think back to then. But yeah, she's like, I've been allowed to step outside of WWE to really show the company I want more. I'm going to work for me. I'm going to work for more. And I'm going to fight for more. And man, they didn't fucking release her. So there you go. CM Punk is in this TV show with Trevor from GTA. But yeah, I don't want to get pulled for playing this trailer, but he's in this show. That's coming out soon, I think, on Syfy. And he's good on heels. He actually is.
I've seen you for weeks. Out. Hey.
Trying to see where he is, if we can spot a wild Punk.
To anyone of being one of these revivers, they should report any chance.
A reviver. Yeah, it's like a zombie horror.
The end of days are near. I'll let that go to waste.
Punker, dude. And I'm not going to let that go to waste. Drew McIntyre. No. But yeah, dude, there's Punker, man. He's in this show. Shout him out. And Liv Morgan, big acting gigs. WWE. So this is a hilarious story that, again, the dirt sheets just jumped all over. And then they just looked fucking stupid in the end, because not only did WWE not have... Idiot. They didn't... So WWE has abandoned their trademark filing for Edge. Okay. Also, the Tribal Chief one was up, but they didn't know this till after they reported this shit, right? So the trademark filing for Edge was up, and then the next morning, they re-upped the trademark on Edge and Tribal Chief. And I'm sure there were others people didn't spot. So they weren't even planning on letting it go. And then the dirt sheets tried to take credit. They're like, oh, once the online awareness was made, they got Edge, and they also... refiled for Tribal Chief. It's like, you guys don't take credit for that. You're idiots. They just didn't get around to it. Like, if the trademark was up and then they go to file it and then someone else tries to swoop in and file it quick, there's that too. Like, WWE still gets the trademark because it was theirs. Like, you guys know it's just so funny. The dirt sheets just falling on their face again. But WWE has abandoned their trademark filing for Edge. And then right away, there's like a retraction. WWE revives Edge trademark application. So just so funny, man, how that shit keeps happening. WWE recently abandoned the trademark for the name Edge, but has very quickly reacquired the name after it was noticed online. Maybe the online shit. Logan Paul's Prime brand is now a sponsor of Germany's WXW, which is pretty fucking crazy, but good for them. Maybe WWE's eyeing them up as well. So AJ Styles got hacked. Okay, he tweets out he's been thinking about getting into crypto. Nobody click or interact with AJ right now. He put this random link in there. Look, when people realize I haven't been hacked, there's going to be some very sad faces. My next fight versus Logan Paul will be sponsored by my new meme coin. You know how fucking dumb people are? 532 likes. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, just don't interact with AJ right now because he's tripping. So Elton Prince, he forgets to kick out because he got bloodied. He got busted open. Ethan Frazier, I wonder if he's going to catch heat for that, dude. Because he fucked up on that dive on Phoenix, and then he just flipped and elbow dropped pretty deadly. Just count the 3. Ref totally fucked up there. Got to just count it like a shoot. I don't know if they're told not to, but this is something in old wrestling that was way better when the refs didn't know every fucking spot. And
absolute disbelief. I understand. See the mouth.
Yeah, that sucks. He got busted open, but the ref really botched that. That's crazy. Breaking: WWE returns to Australia this October for Crown Jewel in Perth. So Raw and SmackDown are also set to take place there. Anybody in Australia going? I saw a lot of people saying, like, dude, the fucking prices are way too high. Fuck that. But that being said, man, Crown Jewel's there, so you're gonna get Punker. Who knows if he will be at the Saudi show then? If they do like Super Showdown there again, he could just duck out. I was under the assumption Crown Jewel would always be there. So here's another little fuck up from WWE. Becky Lynch calling them out. She reacts to WWE social media team not tagging her in posts recently, which is weird when they do this. Because they've done this in the past too, where they just stop tagging motherfuckers, and you're like, why?
It's come to my attention that the WWE social team is trying to hide my greatness from the WWE audience. It's very upsetting. But here are some examples.
See, like they're not tagging her. So maybe there's like a new social media person lately who just has fucked up. Or I'm telling you guys, man, like if she never came back to wrestling again, I wouldn't have even been shocked. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's like she's all Rebecca Quinn-ish now, and she's gonna do her own thing. But clearly, they're cool with it. Maybe it's just a new intern who's not tagging her. Maybe this is part of the storyline. So Becky has a reason to go and be like, "Fuck you, fuck the fans, fuck the company." That would be smart too. And don't put it past WWE to do that either. As we've chronicled here, man, they really use social media to their advantage. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what that's about? But she's leaning into it in a good way, like in a work shoot way, which is the way to do it. So. Brandon Thirsty Thurston says that Vince McMahon appears to be resisting or delaying full compliance with discovery in the WWE shareholder lawsuit that alleges he predetermined the M&A process with Endeavor. Plaintiffs on Wednesday asked the court to order him to compel. So I don't know. I guess he's just making shit difficult. I don't even know what the fuck any of that stuff means, though, that legal jargon. And lastly, before I check in with Chad and we get into cuts, because there was behind the scene cuts too we got to talk about. It's not just fucking the wrestlers. Here's the Prototype and Randy Orton wrestling at the 4th annual Brian Pillman Memorial Show before either of them were even in OVW. You know what I'm saying? On an indie date, like.
This point had recently turned 24 years of age. Randy Orton had turned 21. So you talk about the youth movement, but already two guys that were standing out, not just for their charisma, their size, but certainly their work ethic in a big way as well.
And what you're going to see here from Prototype is a match you'll never see on WWE.
But we've never seen them in this environment, in an independent wrestling event, 2,000 strong, continuing to file in, and two guys who are cutting their
point.
And, you talked about being in the ring with Bob Orton Sr. and Jr., two guys who, it's a lot of.
Damn, Randy and Cena really work.
Individuals say they make it look easy. I mean, the story is Roddy Piper told Bob Orton, and he's got to mess up sometimes just so he can pull.
2 or 3 or 4.
Dude, they've really been wrestling forever, dude. Think about how far they go back and what this Backlash match means,